What's up? Welcome to Log 97, I believe. It is Friday. It's actually almost the end of Friday. I worked overtime again tonight, but it was also because I went out to dinner with my friends and it went a little longer than I thought, but yeah, I also just didn't notice the time. I forgot to set a timer. The day started really well, and by the end of today, I'm still feeling fine. Yeah, I am. But in terms of discipline, I guess we fell off a little bit because I didn't actually take my hour break. I thought I could just, the things I was doing, eating a sandwich and walking back and some maintenance things that ended up taking an hour, but it wasn't actually a rest. I tried to count that as rest and then just keep working and get back to work. And that did not end well. I believe I'm starting to find my weakest spot, my weakest point in mental discipline is the best word I can think of. When I'm working, right? I've been working for so long, and just my inner artist self, whatever it is just itching to do anything besides that. And social media, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or what, and unfortunately I have to use social media platforms for a lot of my stuff, so it creeps in with these little ideas, things that they know you would like, because first off, they absolutely do listen to what we say. They're constantly recording and receiving as much data as they can, just so they can get you to scroll a little longer. It's a little evil, a little ridiculous, but what am I gonna do? Yeah, I mean, I probably should have waited a little longer to record this, because I did just stop working. My one video is actually currently exporting while I'm recording this, just because I do regret working for this long. I didn't mean to be working for this long, and I would like to I really wanted to spend some time just actually relaxing tonight, because I've been doodling recently in the margins and stuff like that, and I've been focusing ever since that one artist talking about the personalized resonance that defines beauty for each person, and the objective beauty that we as humans all enjoy for the most part. Something about it's that, and a little more personal self-discovery, I guess, because I've been thinking yes, I love art for the art's sake, but also so much of it, it's like a puzzle. I'm realizing through this and through figuring out Maya and just trying new materials and the Caterpillar documentary and stuff like that, it just reminded me how much I love to learn. Seriously, brain teaser puzzle stuff. I love puzzles. So I'm yeah, for me, art is as much of a left brain experience as it is a right brain experience. And for the most part, you do use both sides of your brain when you're doing art, because a lot of it is creative problem solving. Same kind of stuff you do in engineering and computer science and stuff. So I got back into experimenting again. I tried to, picture an arm, draw some wacky hands, weird perspectives, because I wanted to challenge myself. And I felt it. I felt that spice, the new discovery, oh yeah, I'm trying new things with the comic that's coming out recently. I'll put up a panel because I drew someone's reflection in a mirror as she's looking at a car window, and it's a reflection. It's not just a copy and paste. I had to really think it out, and I felt it. It felt like my brain was stretching, and I was like, oh, this is the juicy stuff. And that was just great. It felt just fun. Plain old fun, and that is what I love. Just science and art. You don't usually see them mixed that often, I guess, even though they can be one and the same. Yeah, I was never able to get into the advanced science classes because I wasn't as advanced in math. But I didn't want to be as advanced in math. I didn't want to take the advanced math classes. And then, yeah, they didn't let you take the advanced science classes if you didn't have the math to go with it, because it was always, English and history and math and science. So to be someone who's pretty good in the writing department and art and science, it was weird mix-up. So I guess it led me to forget the science side of myself, because I really did. I wanted to do a lot of experiments and stuff. Love that. So anyway, we are continuing to rediscover the spark and the passion. And yeah, speaking of, finished the self-portrait today, more or less, I think. There are a few itty-bitty tiny details that I would like to change, but for the most part, I feel it in my soul. It is complete, more or less. And I think it came at a very nice time, because I think personally, my little, what's my relationship with work versus art versus me, like who am I think that is also kind of coming to a close. It's crazy. Like, I swear I knew myself, but for the first time ever, I think, I can look in a mirror and say, yeah, that's me. Like, for the longest time, it was like, oh yeah, that's what I look like, but I only ever saw my flaws. I only ever saw, like, the flyaway hairs, or, like, yeah, like, just nitpicking, you know, stuff like that. And I saw the person version of myself. I didn't see the art version of myself. I just saw the show that I put on to everyone else so I can get back to art later. This wasn't me. My art was me. But this was just the puppet that I walked around in and showed off to people, and then they said, oh, good job. That meant I was okay, meant I was safe, and then I can just go back to work. And but now we're combining that. We're combining that, and now I am the artist. The art is just a byproduct of me existing and living. Yeah, so I am my art, and my art is me. The islands have merged. I am now one complete continent, or land, or whatever. So that was cool, and I ended up adding a lot of dots to the portrait, which, to be fair, it's also kind of inspired by Project Hail Mary, because of the one scene with all the astrophage blinking around. Like, that's just so cool, and just stars and galaxies and stuff. And I've also just been noticing all of the freckles that I have, and then that plus, you know, galaxies and stars, and thinking about how everything's connected, and it was really nice thought that I think I had, and it absolutely looks super cool. So neat. And I had a lovely conversation with my professor. She's the best. She's great. I have my final crit on Monday, because that's it, guys. I had an unofficial class time because I could just work at the studio whenever. I'm really gonna miss that studio space, but no more classes. Ever. I'm done with college. More or less. But this weekend's gonna be finish course time. Yeah, because I have just about 4 days. This is not feasible. But one plus side to all of the updates that were happening. Yeah, come to think of it. Okay, I meant to mention it yesterday because it all happened yesterday, and the day before. I just completely, fully updated, like, all of my devices, kind of unintentionally. I didn't really want to, but I had to get the stupid baseball app, so my phone is now 2 software updates ahead, and, like, the settings and stuff are scrambled, but I am noticing there are a couple things that are nicer. And same thing with DaVinci, my editing software, that also got updated, like, 2 times over. And again, realizing that some things they need to be changed, they need to be re-customized. My one little ripple trim tool just got changed so that it just cuts everything no matter what, and not just the thing I selected, which is annoying because I just started using that. But everything just feels so fresh and, like, powered up. Like, I just upgrades everywhere. And I think I'm upgraded too. So that's cool. And there's something I was thinking about earlier today. Oh, after that though, after the painting, finally compiled Gerald. He's here, he's alive. I'm kicking myself though. I really wish I figured out how to move his eyes, because he just looks so lifeless. He just looks like a puppet without his eyes moving around in cute little ways. But even though the objects were separate in his mesh, I don't know if it was something about the texture or if I separated them differently in the, I don't know, some mistake that was made very early on is just so deep set in this model that I can't fix it anymore. So like I can maybe edit on top, I can 2D animate on top, but then it's just gonna look so, it's not gonna look right. I still have to add like sound effects if I want to or something like that, but for the most part, I love it. It's just the eyes. I know if the eyes could move, I would be in love. I mean, I still do love him. I do. But like, if anything were to move, if anything at all, just to have him like, you know, blink and move his eyes around. Like, the eyes are the windows to the soul, man. Those are the most important things. So, you know, yeah, I'm gonna lose access to Maya after this too. I don't know. There's a week after finals. If I really feel like fixing it, I might, because I spent so long on this, I might as well try and fix it. But yeah, that's just a fun thing though. I'm not actually stressed about it. It's just like you know. But for the most part, he's lovely. He's cute, and I love the way he runs. That's my favorite part. It's also the most complicated part. It's usually how that goes. And then, yeah, then I got food, came back here, and that is when I tried to just keep working on other things, and I had like boring things to do, like emails and messages and timesheets for jobs and stuff, and it was just like blah. And I wanted to do the complete opposite of that, so I tried to force myself to, but then I was like, oh, but I have my sandwich to eat, so I'll pull up one YouTube video to watch while I eat that. I know it's kind of going over my break time, but like I'll just do that. And then like 2 hours later, I've watched 5 character analysis videos, and it's, with every video, I kept regretting it more and more. I started to mess with my hair again, and yeah. But then I stopped myself, and you know what? I really wasn't too ashamed. I wasn't too seriously mad at myself. I was frustrated, like, ah, man, that happened. But then it was more like it felt more like a learning experience, I guess. It was like, oh, so this is the consequence if I tried to ignore my art self for too long. Because the truth is, I do have to pay attention to it. I have to give it some time in the day, some actual true freedom to go about its business, do what it wants. Just take some time to actually let the creative juices flow, so that it feels no need to intervene on my work time. The boundaries can be separate by giving it that space. It won't feel like it has to break into my other space. So I'm still learning that. It's a very, very new thing for me. Because, you know, art was always just the thing I snuck in around the corners. It was my escape. It wasn't something I scheduled into the day like a hobby. It was like my little extra world. It was like on a different plane of existence. And honestly, I experienced that again tonight because, I mean, I was out with my friends and I took a break from work. And I'm gonna be honest, we were just watching another baseball game and I didn't really want to be there. So I brought my pen because I do have a sketchbook and a pen in my bag at all times now, which I am very happy about. And I just doodled. And that's when I was messing around with, you know, weird hand angles and stuff like that. And that, dude, boredom is so good for creative juices. It's amazing. It actually just makes you make up puzzles for yourself. You keep your brain entertained by just challenging yourself, which is so fun. Yeah, that was really good. But I felt it though. I felt it when I turned off reality. I was like, all right, let's have some art time. Let's have some fun. And yeah, I wasn't in the room anymore. I was in art land and I was happy. I was content, but it was a bit of a numb content feeling because I was tuning out the world. I wasn't present. Yeah, I wasn't really connected with my current self, I guess. So it really was, it is an escape. So I guess that makes sense why it's a little trickier to, incorporate art into my day-to-day life, like trying to summon it, trying to combine two worlds. And let me just say, right now, just today, I am speaking so much nicer, so much more gentler about myself and my challenges, my mistakes. I'm compassionate. I learned it. I did. And like, I'm catching myself. There's little snide remarks I almost say, like, I finally got it. Took long enough. But no, I'm just happy for myself. And what a change, man. Like, what? Like, I'm not even ashamed or frustrated or mad or whatever about how long it took. I'm just happy. Because another thing that changed recently, because I was thinking about all this as training, instead of something that happens to me, something that I have to work in order to stay afloat, feeling like I was powerless, I started to think of this as a challenge, as a game, and then I started to actually feel my victories. When I got something done, I took a second. I had to do it manually for a bit, and I still kind of do, but I actually celebrated when I got something done. I was like, sweet, we did it. And just that little bit, that little train of thought, that little candy is everything. I'm actually just putting more gas in the tank. I'm not just running myself dry. It's like, oh my gosh, I can actually be my own hype squad. I can be my own ally. And it's cool. It's cool. All of a sudden I'm more patient with myself when I mess up. There's no extra kick in the pants. It's cool. It's very cool. With all of this, my psoriasis, it's getting rapidly better. Like seriously, it hasn't been this good in months, at least, which is very exciting. And the thing is, I'm trying to keep the mindset of just like, yeah, I'm not focusing on that. I'm just looking at my arms because they're my arms, seeing the whole self, not just the flaws. And you know what? It reminds me of that pot analogy I made a while ago. Cooking pot. And thinking about, in that case, I was hyper-focusing on all of like the trauma and all the backstory stuff. You know what? That might have been before. No, it was in the very beginning of these vlogs. When I was just starting to learn to, rebuild and move ahead of that. And because I was so focused on all of the stains and all of the things that had crusted over and got stuck on the pot. Pot being me or my mentality or heart or whatever. But the thing is, if you just take care of the pot, if you just put the whole thing in the sink, if you just wash it all, everything kind of it cleans it, you just clean the pot. If you focus on scratching everything off one by one and just focusing on the stains, you're gonna end up scratching the pot too. But if you just wash it, if you take care of it, it just goes away. So, just thinking, and I do hope that I can, keep these things in mind tomorrow and actually take time to make art. Because I've been coming up with ideas left and right today. Like seriously, So maybe I'll add some brain teasers in tomorrow. Maybe I'll bring out some of my old crossword puzzles because I love those. Or write, or just, yeah. Creativity is back, guys. I thought it was back before, but now it's really back. So, real exciting stuff. And I think I will draw a little bit tonight. It's already almost 12, but it's been a long day. I want to. I'm a little tired, but I'm not totally tired yet. I'll be drawing a little bit. Oh, okay. Other thing I was thinking of while I was being so amazed at being nice to myself. Stress scared me. Stress was shameful or embarrassing or something before. Because it was I mean, this is probably a deeper thing that dates back a while ago. I mean, I can see where it comes from, but I thought I was letting myself feel feelings and stuff, and I was definitely making progress, that's for sure, but anytime I was stressed, I didn't just let it happen, because, I mean, stress is a negative thing. You don't want it to be there, obviously, so why would I just let it exist? Why would I just let myself be stressed? But I was just in constant problem-fixing mode on myself. I was looking for flaws in my mental state all the time as well, not just my physical state. So I really was nitpicking myself to death all the time. Well, halfway through the day, after I just realized, like, oh wow, I spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos, I tried to, like, snap out of it, you know? Like, just get straight back to work, you know, redeem myself, feel less ashamed. But then I was like, wait. Well, first off, I tried to type the email, and I felt, like, totally not into it. And I was like, well... And I actually stopped. I took a second, which is very rare for me. I'm usually, like, a mile a minute all the time. I stopped, and I was like, you know what? No, I need this. I need to take a second, actually slow down, sit with myself, understand that, yeah, I made a little mistake, and change directions gently. We're not trying to give ourselves whiplash here. We still didn't do yoga yet today, so I did an office break, like 14-minute yoga session. And at first, I was stressed. I couldn't get myself to start breathing deeply. And I noticed that, and then I started to panic. But I had come across a reel, I think yesterday, from one of the people that I had followed, saying that panic attacks, like, initially, of course, they're caused by some other mental stress, but the spiraling, like, the rapid escalation of the panic in an attack is usually when the person is afraid of the symptoms of panic. It's when they're more of a stone-faced or a stoic person or whatever, when, you know, they feel like they shouldn't feel like that. They start to just focus on the fact that something is wrong, and then all of a sudden it just becomes this irrational spiral of fear. And that was just completely right. And I was like, wow, yeah, I guess when I am panicking, I really do just start thinking about the fact that I'm panicking and not the thing I was stressed about. Yeah, that's why distraction works so well during panic attacks as well. Just like making your brain switch tracks and just remember for a second that you're not actually dying. But I wasn't having a panic attack yet today, but I mean, I was stressed. So I tried to tell myself, like, it's not bad to be stressed. I mean, obviously, scientifically, yes, I know stress is chronic stress is very harmful for the body in many ways. So, of course, my brain tried to remind me of that. But then it was, no, just hold on for a second. Like, stress is a very normal thing. Like, I have every reason to be stressed right now. Like, I'm not being bad. I'm not messing up or causing any problems by being stressed. And then I just tried to, I hyped myself up. I was like, okay, we can handle this. I can do this. Focused on the stretches, did this, that, and then by the end of the yoga session, I was centered. More or less. Of course, this was not a complete transformation, but none of this ever is. So I think that was one of the first times, if not the first, that I actually met my stress with patience and compassion. I'm actually facing the parts of myself that I usually don't like with as much care and patience and compassion and whatever as, like, the parts that I do like. Because it used to be conditional. I used to love myself conditionally. Like, I was so hyped when I was doing good things and I was being productive or doing this or that, or when other people said that I was doing a good job. But when I was messing up, when I was making mistakes, that love went straight into criticism. That's how I thought it should be. But no, actually, fun fact, love can be unconditional. That doesn't make me... I'm not making myself weak or soft by being nice to myself when I'm feeling sad or mad or stressed. Yeah. Talking for a while again tonight. Woo. Yeah, I'm just absolutely loving the fact that my prediction was correct and my self-portrait was, in fact, picturing my journey of self-discovery and identity. Because that really did happen. That's so fun. Art's so cool. Art is so cool. Alright, on that note, before we get into the 30-minute mark, good night, and I will see you tomorrow in log 98. Honestly, I feel like as long as I steer clear from social media tomorrow, I won't regret how I spend my day. Literally, if I goof off, if I do whatever, as long as it's not scrolling, I'll be happy. That's my goal tomorrow. Number one goal tomorrow, if I'm gonna goof off, if I'm gonna do anything, don't do it on Instagram or YouTube. There we go.